Hey, welcome back. Stream
Hello.
number 9, Escape Pod. Uh, I always forget to introduce myself, so I'm Sean. That's Todd over there somewhere. We are Escape Pod. We are just hanging out today, doing some drawing. Todd's gonna draw, I'm gonna draw. We're gonna have both our screens up. If you want to chat, please chat with us. That would be wonderful. I think that's it. Do you have any announcements, Todd?
Uh, Trying to think. So we do have. We'll post something about this, but on Monday, April 12th at 3 p.m. Central Time, we will have Mike Altman joining us on a live stream to talk about his sketch modeling process, where he creates these amazing, kind of really simplistic models that are just slammed together, kind of a stick-on approach. That match up to concept art that he finds. That's really cool. Different artists. He's always selecting someone different with a different look and feel, and the whole idea is to match those his models to these amazing kind of concept images. So uh, he's a modeler out at Pixar. So he's a friend of ours, but he's going to be joining us to talk about his process for doing that and maybe showing some examples and whatnot. So, and hopefully we can maybe tie some other cool stuff to that. So that'll be coming up, like I said, on Monday, April 12th at 3 p.m. Central. And it'll be recorded also, so you can always come back and check it out if you can't make it live.
Yeah, so that'll be great. Really looking forward to the stuff. You can look up. I'm going to type his name into the chat. Mike. Mike Altman. Look his stuff up on Instagram so you can kind of get a feel for the stuff that he is doing, or at least that he's posting on Instagram, and it's really cool. So he'll be talking about that kind of stuff rather than necessarily traditional modeling. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, it's not going to be like production based, like building like a character to be used in a film or anything like that. It's all this kind of sketchy, kind of loose interpretation modeling, but it's really awesome.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff. So come back in whatever 2 weeks for that. It'll be fun.
Yep.
All right, we ready?
Oh, so ready.
All right. You gonna switch your screen over?
I am gonna. No, you're just gonna watch me
You're gonna
as I do
literally just watch him
as I
draw.
do something.
You don't know what he's
I don't
doing.
know quite what it
Yeah.
is.
He's drawing, but you don't know what it is. All right.
Sweet. So I'm actually gonna be doing some painting of our background while you draw stuff because I haven't had that much time to work on it lately. So
Yeah, so I'm gonna move some cameras around here, so bear with me. All right.
talk a little bit about the background. We had one video, or a couple videos that were out about the process we're using for this. But what I'd found along the way is that uh, basically there are a lot better ways to do certain things than I was doing, and like color theory and stuff like that. So I've been doing a lot of experimentation, kind of here and there. So this has kind of changed a little bit, anyways, from what the initial take was. But I'll be putting some more stuff together just to kind of walk through what the final thing is on the design and whatnot. So. I don't really plan on talking too much about that right now. I just want to kind of work on this, and we can kind of talk about whatever.
Sorry, I'm making your screen bigger, organizing. There we go. That's better. Hey Todd, you got a comment
A comment?
directed to you since you created the video.
Oh, hang on one second. So my stuff is delayed for a second, Sean. All right, thanks for sharing your process. Love the UPA cartoon references. Awesome, thanks. Probably noticed anyway. There's a book called I do know about that book. In fact, I remember way back when that book came out, and I didn't pick it up at the time. And just when was that break, Sean? Spring break, whenever that was. I happened to stumble across it again, and unfortunately, I went to try to get a copy of it because it's got tons of awesome images in it and just a really good book overall. Um, but you can't buy it new any longer. It's out of print, so it was like $500 for a copy.
I wanted that book. I've wanted it for a while, but
Yeah. So unfortunately, it's kind of out of print for right now. But I can. Hey, Sean, quick question for you.
Yeah.
So, are you looking at my feed
Yeah.
right now? Right. So I'm working on this wall right here.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to take out some of the detail. And in this case, I just have the wall back there without any brick on it whatsoever. I'm thinking about maybe just having the brick kind of creep in once it gets over here. So I'm using some of these same line approach.
Yeah.
Do you like it better with those bricks or without?
One second. Let me look up close.
If
Do
I
it
put
again.
one, so I've got this right now where I'm like, okay, there's nothing on that wall. And what I might do is just put some scratch lines like you see below it, right?
Yeah.
Just some kind of hatching.
Yeah.
Just a little something. Or I can put these lines up like I have it here. I don't know if that starts to get too busy though.
So I would try it with the scratch.
That's what I'm going to try. I think this looks better. It's just simpler, and then I'll put the scratch on it. And I'll also add some little purple hatch lines in there too. So I'll come back to that. I want to get the other side. Actually, I'll finish it, and then you can take a look at it, and I can do the other side.
Yeah, I feel like the wall that's angled, that's going back, where you have the brick and then it fades.
Yeah.
That one works okay because you know there was brick on it, but then this other one that's flat to us,
Yeah.
there's nothing on it. So I would try the scratch.
Scratch it up. All right, I'm gonna do a couple scratches because I didn't like those scratches.
All right, I gotta find my stuff.
Let's see here.
So I am gonna bring it up. So in May, we're gonna have, I think, a pretty awesome event that we're planning at least, where we're gonna be streaming for a long time. That's the plan anyway. The plan is to, I believe, have about a 32-hour stream. It sounds stupid, but it is for a certain cause that we'll announce later. 32-hour stream, nonstop, and we're going to have a lot of guests. Lots and lots of guests. At least that's the plan now. So it'll be in late May, hopefully, or that's the plan. 32 hours straight streaming. Lots and lots of different types of guests. So, for anybody who's happens to be listening right now, if you have a topic that you're like, man, I would really love to hear about whatever, toss it out there, and then maybe we'll try to find somebody, or we can always cover it ourselves, but maybe we can find somebody cool to talk about it.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, I gotta get busy.
What are you going to be working on, Sean?
I'm drawing my birds. I drew birds last time while Todd was doing stuff, and I found some shapes that I liked. So I'm going to start trying to draw these and pick out some colors.
Nice.
And last Friday, I think I said that I was going to try to do some, record my banjo, which I did for this little bird animation. So I did record the banjo last Friday. We'll see if it sounds any good with putting it with these birds.
Pretty much Deliverance, right?
That's not the style of banjo that I play, Todd.
Oh.
You
There's
probably
multiple styles.
There actually are multiple
No,
styles.
I know there are. There's bluegrass. There's all kinds of stuff.
No, there's actually different ways you play. So Deliverance, normally you think of. This is going to be everybody's going to sign off. The two people that are on here are going to sign off. A five, like a 5-finger
Oh yeah.
banjo. So they're using everything, and they put picks normally, or sorry, 3-finger. They put picks on their 3 fingers, and it has a really metallic sound, and it's a certain type of banjo. So it has like a metal ring on it. It's a resonator, so it sounds really loud. That is the one that you generally think of when you think of banjo. So when you hear people play that Deliverance, that's normally a 3-finger. That is not what I play, and that's not the type of banjo that I have. I have an open back, so there's no metal like resonator.
Okay.
So the sound is just coming out of the back, so it's not something that's like making it super loud. And then I play what's called a claw hammer. So if you see my hand right now, you hold your hand like this, and you brush it down, and you normally are picking with your thumb. So it's a different way to play, and it's a different sound. You can also play like a 2-finger or an up picking. That's similar to a claw hammer style. And there's your banjo facts for the day.
So it's safe to say you never quite know what you're going to learn here on the Escape.
Oh, goodness.
Man.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
All right, I gotta erase this. This is awful. Oh.
Where's that coming from? It's coming from right in here. All right, I'm gonna use this dry brush.
I don't know what's going on here. All right.
Tends to be our standard operating procedure.
What, saying I don't know what's going on here?
I have no idea what's happening right now. All right. So I don't that stuff. Let's combine that.
Yes, Annie, you did. You just missed our a new segment.
Banjo time with
Banjo
Sean
time,
Homer.
where I explain different styles of banjo playing. Though I really already did it, so I don't know why we would repeat it like at another show, because there's only like 3 different ways to play it, really. So you're gonna have to rewatch that, Annie, if you want to see that. Okay.
I would say you don't have to rewatch that.
I think that's kind of rude.
I'm kidding. What am I doing, man? Oh, I'm an idiot. Again, I don't know all the hotkeys for some of this stuff, so I fumble around just yet. But I am learning more. I'm learning my hotkeys inside of Photoshop, Sean.
That's great. What hotkey did you learn today?
It's called Save Face. I can't. I'm too much of a perfectionist. So even when I draw my lines, I still get frustrated with them, even though there is no right or wrong with this style, right? But then I like clean it up too much, and then all of a sudden it doesn't feel like it anymore. So I struggle a lot with that.
I struggle a lot with that too, Todd. Like, I'm too good. I'm too much of a perfectionist.
Perfectionist?
Sure, whatever. I'm not good at English.
We'll get there. The escape pod's gonna help us. The other thing I learned about this is you got to draw it when you're far out. If you get too close to any of this stuff, it loses that look. So we talked about way back when on one of the videos about how small some of these backgrounds are when they would actually draw them or paint them out. I think I go with that. Okay, cool. And then we'll come in here. And let's see here. Cool. Where's my noise? All right. I like that better. So now, come in here. This is the quiet portion of the live stream.
That's how you know we're actually doing things.
Talking ceases.
If we're talking, then we're not paying attention.
So what I'm doing here is I like to go in. I found on the other side, I'm going to remove some of these lines in between. So I'm using the green. I think that was the hardest thing with this, Sean, was figuring out. I talked to you about this a ton, so you've already heard most of this, but figuring out kind of like the color structure of like, if it's fully painted, it feels too full, it feels too detailed. So how do you work with like limited color in any given area based on where the camera is going to be?
Yeah.
So in this case, like removing stuff and having the green of the background be the mortar color instead of trying to go in and paint the individual bricks and then trying to get all that stuff it just becomes too much. It becomes too detailed. And you saw all the iterations, and I'll show some of that later on if I do another second part of that video of kind of levels of detail and like some of the stuff that I was trying out. And then some stuff worked fine. Other stuff did not work so well until we kind of found a sweet spot that I think is at least now making it faster for me to be able to knock some of this stuff out. I said at the beginning it was kind of deceptively challenging, and that proved to be very much true. And it shouldn't be, because these are supposed to be really rough looking paintings, and I'm just whatever. Most of this stuff we'll never see in the short, so Let's see.
Todd, we have people watching right now.
Oh my goodness. The pressure is on. So, how many people are watching, Sean?
I can't tell. I'm not like a professional at this. Maybe 4 or 5? If you are watching, type in the chat. I assume Annie is still there, and I assume Rogerio? Is that how you say it?
All right. So I think that's good. Let's save this before I blow it up.
Somebody immediately got off.
And that's how we do it here.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize there were that few watching. I think I'll leave. Ooh, you asked me to type in the chat. I'm out of here.
Yep, that's how we do it.
Oh well, Annie, that's just the way it goes. It is like class participation.
Lack thereof, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. Let's get some stone stuff going. This file is becoming unruly, Sean. I can't even remember where I put stuff anymore. So, oh, I like some of those, though. I like some of those better than the ones I got. All right, I'm going to come back to those. Get rid of some of this stuff, too. So I could do something like this too with the brick, Sean, if you're looking.
I'm looking.
Where it's purple. But I don't know if we need it.
If you're gonna do it, what I would probably do is start to. What would it look like if you started to erase some of those a little bit more?
Yeah, and break it up. I'll come back to it. I'll leave those for now. Some of these. I'm just gotta clean this up.
Man, I should not have mentioned talking in the chat because it was like 1, 2, 3 right out the door.
Well, now you know.
Now I know. Just ignore.
All right, we're gonna make some new rocks here. This is how we learn, Sean. Don't ask for any level of participation because they will leave.
Don't acknowledge me.
I do not like that. Let's do this. Let's go back up there. Let's see. So I'm making a template for my bricks because I found this makes it easier for myself. And in fact, let's see if I can there. It's super quiet in the pod here today.
Annie, are you still there?
Too much. So weird.
Annie's still there.
At least we haven't lost everybody yet.
Annie's just hoping for extra credit from class.
Perfect.
Which she gets.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with turning on escape pod and then going and doing something else.
I want to see a. Want to see a Brian Caldwell chat? I'd like to see that. He's a new subscriber. Also a teacher here, so if he shows up, I want him to see his name right there in the chat. I'm gonna try something here.
Oh, I'm such a moron.
What'd you do?
I just drew on the layer I didn't want to draw on. I roughed out my lines for these rocks, and then I went ahead and drew just right over the top of them. So it's all on my guidelines now. So I get to do it again. Oh well. That's all right. We'll make it better this time anyways. I think that's the one thing people get on escape pod they don't get elsewhere is when we purposefully make mistakes to show people like this is what happens if you did these things for real.
Yeah, we like to show like what a novice would do. I mean, it's not what we would really do.
No, this is pretty much all for show.
Yeah, we're really good at this stuff.
It's going to be really funny as in a year's time we look back and we figure out we've actually gotten worse.
we're still the same. All right.
How are your birds?
I'm gonna try to just build it real quick in Harmony.
Nice. All right.
Sorry, Annie. I just read. Just read what you said.
Did not like that. Yeah, that's not good. All right, so let's just draw these in position then.
Oh man, there's something about this I don't like.
About what? The bird?
Whatever it is I'm doing.
I don't like what I'm doing either. So I'm going to go back to this. Just needs to be structured more.
What are you working on now?
I'm trying to fix these rocks. I put these rocks in initially, like around, or it's not like, it's like pavers almost, right?
Yeah.
But what I didn't like about them was that they felt like they weren't structured enough. Because everything else in this thing feels pretty structured. And if you look at a lot of the old examples, even when they put in like cobblestones and stuff, sometimes they got a little bit looser, but a lot of times they're still fairly square. But my shapes started to kind of feel a bit weird when I was mapping them out together. So I just tried to draw another set of bricks that I could go in then and basically use the transform tool to kind of warp them into what I wanted. But that didn't end up looking the way I want. So now I'm trying to, yeah, that's better. I'm doing something like this so that they're still angled and kind of squared off, but I'm just using the other one as a reference where some of them got a little bit too round and something about it I just didn't like.
Yeah.
They probably look exactly the same, except to me. It's that kind of thing. Some of the angles and stuff seemed like they got off a little bit too, so I wanted to fix up some of the perspective. All right, so now I'm going to clean these up. Not entirely. All right, let's do the opposite side.
So I don't think we should tell him, Brian, but I do think the first time he pops on here and says something, we should have a celebration. It'll be an inside joke between Todd, myself, and Annie, I guess, because I don't know that anyone else is here. So
Sounds good to me.
it'll be a big thing when Brian shows up, and but don't tell him.
Time is flying by, Sean.
For you, not for me. I'm struggling over here. Somebody's about to knock on your door.
It's all good. All right, so now I got some pavers around there. All right, let's take that all the way down here. Now let's hit this. Let's do this. Oops. All right, so I'm gonna take all those. Let's just take this brush then. This is starting to get too busy. Maybe not. Let's take those lines down. Actually, what we could do is let's duplicate those. Turn these off. Let's see, try another one of these. Try to colorize this to see if I can get it to be subdued.
All right. If anybody's been staring at what I'm doing, then you've been wondering what in the world I'm doing, because I've just been scrolling in and out and in and out and selecting different things. However, I was actually doing something, and I think I know what I'm going to do now with this, and I know how to build it and how I'm going to structure and organize. So, while it didn't look like I did a whole lot of stuff, I was able to figure everything out in my brain, how I'm going to approach it. I don't think thinking translates very well to a live stream. Do you think?
I do not believe so.
If you just sat there and watch someone think, would be a little boring. All right. Okay, cool. All right, I know what I'm going to do with that, so I'm going to shrink that down and
I gotta figure out what to do with these pavers, Sean. Could just get rid of them too. I might just get rid of them and put scratch lines anyways. Oh well. Well, it's 11 o'clock already.
It is already 11 o'clock. All right. Is that it?
I think so. I mean, this just gives a little bit of a preview of where we're going with this background. I want to try to finish this up maybe next week. And then when I get a few more minutes to work on it, and then, like I said, post some stuff on it. But I think I'm good.
Yeah, so we'll get a video of the background, probably the last in that series will be coming up. And then I'll be creating a quick little series on the birds. And I think I'm ready to start that one up as well. So hopefully we'll get that one out in the next little bit. Okay, so I think that's a wrap for today. Let me. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had fun. Same time next week. Not sure what we'll be talking about then, or doing, but I bet it's going to be great. And just so you remember, April 12th, Mike Altman. That is a Monday at 3:00. So that'll be happening, and then we also have our big thing in May coming up, where we're going to have lots of cool stuff, lots of guests. So if there's anything specific that you can think of, a certain type of somebody who does a certain thing in 3D, if you want to see that, animation, lighting, whatever, or a certain topic, or want to see us do something.
So I have a question, Sean, really quick.
Sure.
When did my video freeze? Is it frozen on there?
Is it?
I just pulled up the stream and it looks like it's stuck on something from way back when.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely frozen.
That's all right. I didn't do much anyways.
Hold on just a second.
I wasn't paying any attention to it, so.
I don't know what. Apparently neither was anyone else, so.
It's all good.
That's bizarre. Oh well. This is a live video of Todd texting. It's not frozen now.
Nice.
I don't know what happened. All right. That's it. Enough of that. See you all next week. Thanks for visiting.
Thanks, guys.